If you want to ensure that 2025 is going to be a profitable year for you, I have prepared 5 key mindsets and tips in order for you to employ to ensure your profitability, and also 3 bonus tips on what not to do, things coming from my reflection from 2024. So if you really want to ensure 2025 is going to be profitable, let's start by asking a very important question. And that is, what did good trading look like for me this year? So just ask yourself this, how did good trading feel like? Like for me, if I can describe it in one word, it felt like freedom. It felt like the setups were coming to me. It felt like actually take profits were hitting effortlessly. It felt like I was having a balance in my personal life. I was not really stressed out. I just took my trades without hesitations. Trades like just felt coming to me. I was really balanced. I was really happy, right? But you can also ask the question, what did bad trading feel like for you? For me, it was like constantly overthinking, constantly being in the fear that I'm gonna miss out the trade, right? So having that scarcity mindset that if I just go outside, I'm gonna miss the trade, or like entering a trade and then getting all stiff and like fearing that if it hits stop loss and this and that, it's like too much overthinking. That was bad trading for me. Okay, so if I can describe good trading for me, it was freedom. So if we try to reverse engineer this, and how can we actually get to such a state of trading, well, where things are actually starting to come to us effortlessly, I have 2 keys for you. So there are 2 keys to good trading that makes trading effortless. And the first key, according to me, from my own reflection, is balance, right? Why? Well, because when you start forcing things, when you start rushing, when you start overthinking, it just leads to failure, right? That's just how it is. When you kind of start to constantly think about charts, think about setups, think about pairs, think about stuff, it's like you occupy so much mental space in your head that you actually don't really have any energy to sit down and execute on your trades, right? Also, the rush. Like, rush has been something big for me even for years. I always wanted to make it, and I always wanted to make it fast. And like, it feels like the more you want something and kind of the more you try to reach for it, the further away it gets. All right, this is why rushing to get results fast, rushing to pass challenges fast, rushing to get profitability fast and get big wins is just gonna slow you down, right? And also pushing yourself too hard to achieve that profitability. Like, the thing with trading is that pushing is just not gonna do it. Like in other jobs, pushing and overworking and working hard, it might do the job, right? But in trading, it's just not how it is. And this is a really important mindset that you have to keep at all times. It's not about like pushing and rushing and overworking and hustling until 3 a.m. Maybe you do have a period that you hustle, but it's just not gonna work long term. All right. So then you might ask, okay, Iliya, okay, so what should I do? Well, you must have a balance between your trading and your personal life. And you should also tackle life with an abundance mindset. That is going to ensure success. Okay. Your personal life is a reflection of your trading life, and so is your trading a reflection of your personal, right? You've probably taken, let's say you go on a losing streak or you take a couple of losses. Does that reflect your personal life? Do you start feeling bad? Do you start like getting angry? Do you maybe close yourself in your room and starting to like overthink over all of these losses? Or are you just feeling fine about it? Well, I bet a very big percentage of traders are going to feel bad. That's normal, right? But also putting it, for example, on the other side of the mirror, have you had periods at which you're like working out, you're taking care of your body, you're reading books, you're nurturing your mind, you're going out, you're having good relationships, and you're just feeling good about your life. And then somehow trading also starts getting good, and it just feels like things are too good, right? And this is how you can actually engineer your life to be, if you have that balance. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. That's what I truly believe. So the abundance mindset as well is always being patient, waiting for setups, knowing that they will just come to you, knowing that they will arrive, knowing that there is always another trade, while you also work on other things. You take care of your body, you take care of your life, you take care of your relationships, enjoying life and staying balanced, right? And then again, for me, surprisingly, when I was trading and doing stuff like this, trades were just coming to me. And they just come to me and I just click the button, no hesitation whatsoever. And I just like, all right, let's see what happens. And the market just whoop, went to take profit. While other times when I was stressed, when I was overworked, when I was too much focused on trading, it just nothing seemed to work. And this is when I learned balance is needed. But in order to achieve full balance, you need the second key to that. and that is detachment. All right. So look at this. Attachment repels. So being one-sided is what being attached means. Like if you're loving wins too much, like if you really, really want to win, you're on the opposite side immediately, you're really gonna hate to lose. And that makes attachment, and you pretty much are gonna attract what you don't want. It always works like this. Like, or you can also be attached to a trading fantasy of like a very big profitability of making like $100,000 a month or something like this. Or you maybe watch some of the gurus online driving Lambos and you're like, man, this is what I really want, right? But see how attachment works. You are kind of following a fantasy, and the more you try to follow it, it kind of the further it gets. And the more you try to reach it and reach it and reach it, like the further it gets. That's how it works. Only until you detach, because detachment attracts. I know it sounds kind of silly, because even some of you might be looking at the law of attraction and you might be feeling like, okay, well, I've read there that the more you want something, the more you think about it, the more you're gonna get it. It doesn't work like this, because you first have to detach. And what detachment means is accepting and being okay with not having what you actually want. Okay, because then you pretty much detach from that, and somehow that thing starts getting back at you, right? Pretty much that also means accepting defeat before it happens. So if you, for example, enter a trade, you really have to fully accept the loss. Like you click the button, or even before you click the button, you have to accept that this money is gone. And you have to be okay with this. Because if you actually detach from this, you're just gonna let the trade do its thing. But if you are attached to the risk that you're risking, or maybe to the win that you want to get, you're gonna overthink and something's gonna happen. You're gonna micromanage, you're gonna cut out the trade, you're gonna over risk, you're gonna do something stupid. It's just not gonna work, right? Or if you start a challenge, before you start that challenge, you just have to accept that this money is gone, you lost it, and you're okay with not passing. You're okay, right? And pretty much that brings us to the conclusion: balance and detachment. Balance in life, taking care of yourself, not caring about results, and also being okay with losing, because best losers win. That's a book by Tom Hugard. It's really what trading is about, right? And also detachment in trading, like just simply not caring about the result, being okay with losing, okay? And also having an abundance mindset, knowing that there is always going to be an opportunity incoming. So that to me is the two keys, the first two keys that are more on a macro level, not really trading related, but more macro level: taking care of your life, being detached, not wanting so much badly this like profitability or whatever you want, because the more you want it, the more you try to get to it, the more it's actually going to run away from you. This also kind of works in relationships. Boy really wants girl, and girls gets repelled. Like when a boy really wants a girl, like really looks into her, really tries to get close to her, well, that is repelling for the girl. I wouldn't like to be a girl and have a boy like constantly try to get to me. But if you're like, okay, I'm okay with not having her, I like her, but I'm okay not having her, so you kind of detach from her, right? Then the girl starts getting interest. And that's how it works. Like, it's a silly example, but that's also how everything works. Hope you understand. All right, so the second thing that you must understand is the losing learning curve. So if you have been trading for years right now, but you're still not getting success, let's have a look at this graph. So pretty much traders go through that honeymoon stage where they learn something new and it's gonna make a lot of sense in the moment. They're gonna get excited about that thing. They're gonna test it for a little bit. It might work for a bit, and then they go to live trade that thing. And usually they're gonna go on a losing streak. It's just inevitable. And then that losing streak causes traders to get like a little bit disappointed. You start asking yourself, does that really work? Like, it looked very good, but does it actually really work? Right? And then this kind of mindset starts introducing doubt, hesitation. You start feeling lost. You start feeling like that this thing doesn't work. And then you feel like, all right, it's time for a change. And then pretty much you get the reset. You start all over again. You learn something new. You get excited. You go live, losing streak, disappointed. All right, time for a change again. Okay? So think about it. Are you really stuck in this cycle? Because that is the trap of learning. Okay? It's very easy to watch a YouTube video. It's very nice. Oh, especially those 12-minute videos. Hey, here's how to trade this in just 12 minutes. Sure, but you're still not going to be fully aware of all the details of the strategy, all the ins and outs of these things. Not to say you're not the trader who is actually presenting. You can't be like him. Maybe he has 30 years of experience sharing his strategy in 10 minutes. You're not going to be able to do it like him, for example. You don't even know if what they show you actually works, because a lot of things that is outside on the internet is just BS, right? Let's be real. And you really have to understand that there is a learning curve and a losing curve for everything, because true learning is given through losses. So if you want to learn something, well, of course, the universe is going to give you hardships. It's going to give you losses. And that is how you get rebuilt as a person, right? Mastery is achieved when you go through when you pretty much exit, when you first go through and then exit that losing learning curve. This is how I named that thing, because in order for you to learn, you have to lose. So you're going to go through a losing curve, but at the same time, for example, as your capital goes down, your learning increases. And not only when you pretty much start crossing those two lines is when you pretty much become profitable. Okay. But the problem is that we all have been stuck in that trap. Anytime we change something, you change a strategy, and I didn't change a strategy, but I did change like a very main component of my trading, which was replacing market structure with imbalances and starting to focus more on momentum and order flow rather than like ranges and stuff. Okay. And then everything resets. You start taking losses immediately and you don't know why. And then you feel frustrated, and then doubt starts to kick in. Okay. And that is when, for example, you go back and repeat that cycle again. You learn something new and then it keeps repeating over and over again. Right. So how do you transcend that losing learning curve? It's one word, and that is commitment. Okay. To transcend the losing learning curve, you have to commit, and you have to embrace that curve. You have to embrace the losing periods. You have to actually learn from it. And guess what? Point number one, you have to detach from your desires to make it fast. Because as you start learning something, it's gonna take time. It is simply impossible for you to watch a video or to watch a course and have it plug and play, go apply it, and start making money. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. And of course, you're wondering, there are so many videos, so many courses online, so many things that you can study. Well, if there's so much information available, then why are still 90% of traders losing? You probably have your answer, right? You really have to commit to one thing, learn from your losses, backtest, journal, playbook your setup, gather data, test your hypothesis, make changes, tweak until you actually make it your own. Okay, so you really have to, again, going into 2025 right now, you really have to pick something that you resonate with, anything, and then you have to commit to it for minimum 6 months. Okay, because a professional trader, they know their edge, they know all of its details, the timings, the setups, the instruments, and how do they get there? By going through the losing learning curve. Everybody has taken losses, everybody has been on a losing streak, everybody has started losing when they pretty much got into the game. Nobody just learned something and went to the market and started winning, right? They have to go through that losing curve in order to learn, okay? And also what I spot with professional profitable traders is that they have built their market niche, okay? And that is built through their own trial and error. So for example, everybody can be trading SMC ICT, okay? But individual traders that are actually profitable with these kind of concepts, they have developed their own little niche from that, and that is found from insights from their losses. Okay, and they no longer trade, for example, ICT strategy, they trade their own understanding of the market. Sure, like the foundation could be, for example, ICT, but then as you have gotten through so many losses and so many learnings, and you have tweaked and tweaked and tweaked, and maybe added something from here, added something from there, then it becomes your own. And right now, this is how you actually get to that stage of profitability, when you build something for your own through your own trial and error. Okay, so commit and avoid and don't pretty much change the strategy and go through that losing learning curve. There is one big thing that you can do in 2025, which is a very big power move that will definitely guarantee progress and success. Now, if you think about it, why are 90% of traders losing money? Because they're doing way too much. And it's very important to keep the mindset of we do not need a lot to make lots of money. You simply need to be a master of one thing. Okay? Because pretty much the average trader wants to trade 5 different things, 5 different markets, catch all the sessions, right? They want all the strategy because they think that better is right, right? Well, that's wrong. They simply also want to be everywhere because money doesn't sleep, right? You gotta be there, you gotta be into the market. Well, that is also wrong. So the main power move that you can actually make in 2025 is to focus, right? Because focus really gives you power. And what this focus actually is the power to say no and to eliminate things. So you might have, for example, a technical focus. Let's have a look at this: market, instruments, sessions, and session timings, and a setup. All right. And you're probably aware of the famous saying, one market, one pair, one time, one setup. Okay. So how you focus is by saying no to a lot of things, by saying no to a time zone, by saying no to a pair, by saying no to a market, by saying no to a setup or a strategy. Okay. 1 to 2 instruments, preferably when within one market, one session, one simple strategy, and a setup. That's it. So that is your technical focus, getting really clear and cutting all the fat and getting really clear and focused on your technical edge, okay? And doing as little as possible. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what actually works. Because if you think about it, like if you think about successful business owners, they have one business, they tackle one bottleneck at a time, and they have one focus. While, for example, these wannabe entrepreneurs, they're always going to say, I'm having 10 businesses, I'm opening this business, I open that business, I open this, I open that. And they're not making any progress because you cannot do 10 things, right? And also the average trader, they're trading forex and futures and crypto, they're trading all the sessions, they're trading different strategy, they're trading 5 things at a time, right? But what I spotted within the best traders that I've watched and also learned from, they're trading one strategy, one thing, one market during one time. They just jump into the market, 2 hours, boom, boom, done my thing, bye-bye, come back tomorrow. And that is the power of focus and just consistently showing up. But what you should also do is you should guard and protect your focus. So you have to really find out what eats away your focus and concentration and eliminate it. So for example, talking to other traders, scrolling on social media, multitasking, listening to live streams while you're trading, all of these things are taking energy, brain energy away from you that you cannot actually employ into the market. And for example, for me, a very big problem since I'm currently transitioning to trading futures is that I have, for example, 10 hours during the day until the future session comes in. So I had to become really careful with my lifestyle in order not to spend a lot of time losing my focus until that window comes in. And that is also the sacrifice you have to make. Okay, so if like you talk to a lot of people while we trade, or if you're watching different things while we trade, and you get disconcentrated, not good. You really have to ensure high quality focus and decision making for at least 1 to 2 hours per session, right? When you're literally trading. And also if you really want to prove that you have focus and that you're really zoned in on your strategy, I want you to type down in the comments, what is your edge in just one sentence? So what market, what time, what setup, what process? And if I, for example, try to give you my thing in one sentence, let's say I trade ES from 9:30 to 11:30, focusing on the daily time frame direction from 15-minute imbalances, entering from 1-minute V formations and breaks of VWAPs. That's it. That's literally what I do. Now there, of course, are going to be a lot more details, but I want you to type down in the comments in one sentence, what do you do? What is the only way to trading mastery? Is there a shortcut you can take? And also how to ensure that you actually get there? Well, let's first talk about the 2 camps of traders that exist. There are the greedy traders who are over trading, they're revenge trading, they're pushing their take profits further, they're usually over risking, trying to do things fast. They always want more, they're not satisfied with a 2R, they want 5R, they're never settling with a loss, they cannot finish their day with a loss, and they always want things right now. And it's simply never enough with them. Are you this type of trader? Think about it. And then we have the fearful traders. They're always hesitating, they're always doubting, they're always freezing when they have to execute the trade, they're always micromanaging, they're always going break even too soon, they're always closing their trades at little profit, they're always skipping trades because of hesitation, and they're always in the overthinking mode. I am this type of person. I am more into the fearful camp. I also used to be in the greedy camp. And this is what we're going to talk about right now. You're going to go through these both camps. Okay, but you might be asking the question right now, how to stop being greedy or how to stop being fearful. What is the solution? There is no solution. There is no shortcut. The only thing that will do the trick is time and experience. All right. Well, newsflash, you probably knew this, but that's the only way to do it. That's the only way to go through those periods. You have to go through the stages and phases of a trader, right? So for example, as I told you myself, I started as the greedy trader. I do believe probably a lot of people start in the greedy camp, wanting to make it fast, wanting to really get straight into the market. And I had the period of profitability, and then I deposited like 10,000 euros of my own money, which was like the only money that I have at that time. And I lost like 2,000 or 3,000 of that money. And then since then, I went from the greedy fellow to the very fearful trader. And then it actually took me 2 years to find the balance. Although deep inside, I knew what to do. And I was paying for psychology courses, coaches, books, meditations. I was doing a lot of things, but nothing seemed to work. Why? Remember point number one, I was pushing it. I really wanted to make it right now. I didn't want to lose money, so I pushed it and I enrolled into all of these things that of course made me the person that I am today, but I was just way too much pushing. And this is why it took me so much time to see any profitability at all, right? The thing is, traders don't listen to their coaches, right? Now, I do have a business that I help people, right? I help traders transcend all of these things, and I teach them a strategy, and I tell them everything that I do that is back tested and proven and everything, but they still go on and they still make dumb mistakes no matter what I tell them to do. I tell them don't do this, they go and they exactly do this thing. Okay, no matter what I, for example, tell them to do, they're always gonna do the opposite, right? And funnily, that is just simply part of the process. You have to go through that. You have to experience it yourself. Like, it works the same. If I tell you this doesn't work, well, until you actually go and do it and you actually see for yourself with your own eyes and you actually feel it that it doesn't work, well, then maybe you're going to stop doing it. The same works with if I tell you this works, you might not believe me until you actually go and do it. And then this is how you also build trust in that system. Okay? Time and experience once again. You cannot have somebody tell you something and then immediately, whoop, you're at it. Okay, so stop looking for a magic bullet, stop looking for a mindset hack, a secret strategy, or whatever it is. Remember the losing learning curve that we talked about in point number 2. You need time to go through that losing learning curve, and you also have to commit and not change anything. That is the formula. You have to submit to time, you have to be okay with failing, you have to learn, you have to make mistakes, you have to get better, 1% better daily, and pretty much the key is, again, how do emotions go away? With time, they will simply dissipate. So how to remove emotions, you might ask? Well, play the game for a long time. That's it. Currently, I have 0 emotions. I don't care about losing. I don't care about winning. I don't feel any emotions whatsoever, any floating P&L and stuff. I just don't care. But how did I get here? This is again with time and doing it enough and not changing things. Okay. What is the markets and also the profitable traders' strongly guarded secret? This is the biggest secret that is literally in front of us, but we somehow really struggle to accept it. Now, being complex is sexy, right? So pretty much since the introduction of ICT, SMC, all of these fancy concepts, they're very fancy and a lot of people were attracted to it. And you start thinking, this is it. This is how the market works. And you start adding things. You start adding this confluence and this gap and this and that and this timing and this. And before you know it, it's all over the place and you know so much stuff, but somehow you cannot put it together. So is complexity the edge? We think that trading should be complex, because that will essentially give us an edge, right? If we know more than the other person knows, then we should be better. So we need more knowledge, more concepts, more theories, more entry models, and a deeper understanding of the market, right? And it feels like, for a lot of you, it might feel like you're just one little confluence away from cracking the code of trading. You feel like, I just need this one very little thing, that missing link on my journey, and I'm just gonna be profitable. It will just click and things will just start rolling. Do you feel like this, right? So you keep looking for that thing, you keep adding stuff, you keep looking for that magical bullet, and it's just not arriving, right? But what you're doing is you're forgetting one main point, and that is that psychology, sorry, let me put on the video, that trading is 90% psychology and 10% technicals, right? You remember this quote. This is being thrown around a lot, okay? Now, having the technical side is very important. Having a strategy that works is very important. But again, with all the information out there, that is very easy to learn, okay? But then what we're left with is our own selves and our psychology. So let's reverse engineer that. If it's 90% psychology and 10% technicals, then how can I make my psychology and performance better? Like, try to think about it. Do you think that is going to be to add 10 new concepts, to learn all the market theory, to add 10 confidences, to build a 10-step entry model? No. Then what it is? What is the solution? So we all have been stuck in a trap. All the knowledge that we have, all the concepts that we've learned, and we're trying to combine them, and then we go live and just nothing seems to work. Why? Right? And here's the solution. That's the market's biggest secret. Keep it stupid simple, repetitive, and easy to execute, because simplicity is the market's greatest secret. And I truly started kind of realizing this. Again, you can be trading for 5 years, but maybe on your 6th year, you actually realize, God damn it, man, I learned all of that stuff. And what actually works is something so stupidly simple that you actually don't even believe it works. But this is exactly the things that actually work, right? Why? Because a simple process will make it easy for your psychology and for your mental capacity. You're not going to think about 10 different things. You're just going to think about a few things. And it's going to be a lot easier to execute, and you're going to stay very balanced. A simple process also is very easily repeated, giving you consistent edge. Because in the market, you need to have a consistent edge. You have to be showing up, doing the same thing. If you do a different thing every single day, how do you expect to get an edge, right? A simple process is also what gives you long-term sustainable and repeatable success. That's it. If you think about it, simple is actually the way to go. If you keep it complicated, you're just gonna stay stuck. And I was there for a very long time. So guys, stop complicating. Stop watching clickbait videos teaching you how to trade in 12 minutes. Stop watching all the fancy concepts that keep appearing every single day and you keep adding them to your arsenal. I'm gonna test this, I'm gonna test that, I'm gonna plot this on my chart, I'm gonna plot this on my chart, I'm gonna see how it goes, this timing, this macro, this, that. Oh, I even got a headache, right? Keep it simple. Because listen, do not confuse simple with ineffective. Too many people want a complicated approach, but simplicity is the market's greatest disguise. Now, what did we learn so far? Lesson number 1, balance and detachment. 2, embracing the losing learning curve. 3, focusing and cutting the fat. 4, giving ourselves time. Okay, so that is, there is no shortcut, you just have to submit to it. And then 5, simplifying. Now, I want you to kind of start feeling like what I have given you here is actually a formula, okay? Now, if you think about balance and detachment, okay, this very closely then links to giving ourselves time, because you're not gonna give yourself time, right, if you're not detached. If you are like okay with not making it in the next month, if you're okay with losing a few trades until you actually go through the losing learning curve, you see, because you're not going to be able to embrace the losing learning curve and give it like 6 months if you don't give yourself time, and you're not going to give yourself time if you're way too attached to the result. Okay? Focusing and cutting the fat. What does this link to? It links to simplifying. Okay? Because if you actually simplify and if you make it easy, then this is going to actually make you focus a lot easier. It's going to make you a lot more focused. Okay, and what is also having that focus going to help you? It's going to help you actually to stay balanced, because if you do so much things, if you think about so many things, if you trade all the sessions, if you like think about so many pairs and so many different things, you're not going to stay balanced, because all in your mind is going to be trading. But if you have something simple, that is simple, you have very big focus, you know exactly what you're doing, and it's repetitive and it's nice. This is how I finished my year, right? I have that thing that I'm doing. I have my absolute textbook process. It's very simple. It literally takes me 30 seconds to analyze the market. If something is there, I lock in. If something is not there, goodbye. And this has given me so much balance in my life. I can step away from the chart. I can go outside. I can work out. I can build relationships without worrying about the market going without me. Okay? But you can see all of these things are literally linked. One cannot work without the other. So start building of all of them. Start thinking about like whether you actually have all of those 5 points checked up. See which one you actually lack, and then of course see what you can do about it, and that immediately is going to impact another one of these points. So right now it's time to get into some bonus tips. All right, time for some bonus tips, which are actually the opposite. Things you should not do. Those are also from my personal experience. I'm sure a lot of you are doing these mistakes, so let's have a look at them. The first is removing forbidden words from your vocabulary. You must absolutely remove these statements and words. And before we get into the words, there is one thing you really have to stop doing, and that is forcing your expectations onto the market. All right, we're going to talk more about that, but first, the forbidden words. I get really bad feelings when I hear some people mention this in my comments, and those are using the words should, will, needs to, must. If you use this in your way to describe charts or to make forecasts, that is a very big red flag. So think about the market should go and take out this high. The market will dump today because the Fed are cutting the rates. The market needs to retrace because it's too high. Truth is, you never know what the market will do, and you don't need to. Forgot to put my camera because I got excited, right? The market doesn't care about your opinion. It's not supposed to listen to your opinion. Nobody even knows that you're short. If you're not like, I don't know, some big hedge fund manager like Ray Dalio or Warren Buffett who people actually listen to, nobody cares, right? So stop acting like you're the dictator of the market. Like, ooh, this got taken, now the market's gonna go here. No, you don't know where the market's gonna go, all right? So, and if you don't stop acting like this, the market is gonna keep slapping you until you learn your lesson. And being like this is also associated with a lot of over trading and those greedy traders, because they just simply cannot accept that they can be wrong. Because you said the market will go there, and if it doesn't go there, you feel like the market is against you, and you feel like you have to keep pressing your opinion onto it, you keep pressing your ego onto it until it actually goes there, and by the time you know it, your account is gone, right? So you really have to understand that trading, it's all potentials, right? So when you're gonna hear me in my weekly outlooks and all my videos, I always use the word potentially when I make forecasts, right? Or you can use the word could. The market is potentially gonna go there. I think that the market could go there. No, I think the market is going there. No, you don't know, okay? And if you actually start wording your sentences like this and making your analysis like this, you're gonna start thinking in probabilities and not certainties. And trading is all about probabilities. It's also all about scenarios. If you watch my weekly outlook, you're always gonna see me give you like 2 or 3 scenarios because I don't know where the market's gonna go. I can draw some scenarios, I can draw some forecasts, but it's all potentials and I don't need to know where the market is gonna go, right? So if you're finding yourself forcing your will onto the market and using words like should, will, needs to, must, start paying more attention to this. The second bonus tip is to drop all your expectations. So don't set up yourself for failure and always keep an open mind. So it's very important to stop setting expectations, and let's pretty much talk about it. You first of all have to become aware of your expectations and your intentions, all right? So you have to monitor what you think, what you feel, and what is going on within your mind at the start and at the end of your trading days, okay? So you might start thinking, also again, forcing your opinion onto the market. The market took liquidity. I don't expect it to continue higher. So you see, you're already starting to set expectations, which is okay, okay? But what I really want you to realize how that is going to impact your trading. Or for example, it's NFP week. It's probably going to be choppy this week. Or I feel like today is going to be a big day. Okay. And that has been a main mistake for me, mainly within, for example, this, the second example. I'm going to say, okay, today is NFP or this week is NFP. I'm going to take it very easy. I'm not going to trade. And then I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday providing beautiful opportunities. And then Friday was crap. But because I set that intention, all right, it literally dictated my actions, because what you think inside, it kind of materializes into your reality and into your action, right? So if you feel like it will be big tomorrow or today, you're very likely force trades, because if you feel like it's going to be big, well, that is going to again force a little bit of FOMO. It's going to actually make you take action. So you're going to force some trades and you're going to probably make mistakes, all right? or if you feel like it's gonna be choppy, then you're gonna put yourself away from the market and you're gonna start hesitating on valid trades. Because you set the intention, it's gonna be choppy. I feel like it's gonna be choppy because of this. You have that expectation, and then of course that takes your objectivity out of the market, right? So the key is don't set intentions and expectations. Just freaking show up, keep an open mind. That's it, right? Don't say from the day before, oh yeah, tomorrow is gonna explode because tomorrow is this. Or don't say like from the beginning of the week, I think this week is going to be very choppy, so I'm not going to trade. Like, how do you know it's going to be choppy? It could be the biggest week of the year, right? You never know. And that is again linking us to even previous things. You have to detach, you have to keep an open mind and just drop low expectations. The key is show up daily, analyze the charts, look for your setups, and just flow with the market. All right. And also detaching, again, we keep coming back to these words, detachment, balance, because if you detach from those expectations, if you stop having expectations of the market, and you just very simply come to your computer and you just check the charts, that is going to keep you balanced. It's going to really lower your emotions down, and it's also going to keep you more objective to actually see the market for what it is, not what you expect it to be. All right, and the final tip is to stop messing up your trades. So literally don't destroy all the hard work you are doing. So once in a setup, stay in the setup. I want you to bring this out, especially for the people who are micromanaging and constantly screwing their trades. Once you are in the setup, you've done all the hard work, stay in the setup. So literally stop micromanaging, because how many times you have screwed the winning trade? You manage too fast to break even, you close the trade too early, you see another pair massively push and then you close your pair because you were short, right? And then usually what happens, exactly when you exit the trade, exactly when you go break even, or exactly when you close at a little loss or a little profit, the market just whoop, goes to take profit, right? We're just simply micromanaging, you're screwing your winning trades, right? And that destroys all the hard work you did before that. You have to analyze, you have to wait for it, you have to calculate your risk, you have to wait for your entry, you actually have to put the trigger to enter. You did all of that hard work, and then you pretty much threw it out of the window. So don't do this. Once in a setup, stay in the setup. And if you're having that problem, find out why you're micromanaging. So are you fearful? Is your risk too big? Or are your setups low probability that you don't really have conviction on them? Or are you still lacking confidence in your strategy? It could be a lot of things, and that's okay. As long as you recognize it, embrace the losing learning curve, keep going through it. You will micromanage at first, that's okay, right? Embrace it and keep going, because that is how you're gonna get to mastery, okay? But if you keep this at the back of your mind to stop micromanage, and once you actually take the setup to stay in the setup, it's gonna help you level up a lot faster. So let your trades play out. Open the trade, set a stop loss and a take profit. You should always predetermine these things. Set alerts at key levels. So when I enter a trade, I'm going to set an alert at my stop loss so that it notifies me, hey, stop loss was hit. Let's see if I can do something else. Or just before take profit, maybe if there is like a swing point that is being taken, I'm going to set it there as the market takes it. It's going to notify me. So then I'm going to see, okay, is it pushing with momentum? Can I hold it? Should I close it? Should I go break even? That is only when I go to see the charts. So I set these alerts and I close the charts. Because if you don't close the charts, the market will always convince you of something. It's going to start looking like this. It's going to start looking like that. It's going to print this opposing confluence, that opposing confluence, and you're going to just screw your trades once again. All right. So add habits and processes to stop yourself from micromanaging your trades. And trust me, you're going to start trading a lot better. All right, Fanatic. So that was for this video. Those are some pretty much 8 very key reflections. Now I have a little challenge for you. What is another key tip that you can add to this list that I just broke down? I want you to comment it below, and I'm gonna pin some of the best comments out there, and I'm gonna respond to everyone. I'm really curious to see what are your biggest learnings, what you think is like a level up lesson for you from last year. I would definitely love to know about that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to, of course, hit the like, subscribe. I'm gonna see you in the next one, and if you have any ideas, let me know, and I'm gonna talk to you then. Let's make 2025 very powerful and profitable by following these principles, because believe me, those are just universal truths backed from experience. So let's make it happen.